House will come to order. Thank you all for allowing us to take that break. A great day for Georgians, some great announcements. Mr. Clerk, will you ring the bell and let everyone know we're about ready to get started? We're going to have a special moment here in just a minute, maybe a couple of moments. We'll see how that works out. But at this time, I'm going to recognize, while everybody has an opportunity to make their way to the chamber and to their seats, we're going to have a couple of motions. For what purpose does Representative Thomas rise?
To make a motion.
State your motion.
Motion, Senate Bill 23 be recommitted to rules.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption?
Senate Bill 23 by Senator Albers, the 56th, and others to be entitled an act to amend Article 7 of Chapter 20 of Title 47 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated the Public Retirement Systems Investment Authority Law.
On the gentleman's motion that SB 23 be withdrawn from the calendar and recommitted to the Rules Committee, is there objection? Hearing none, it is so ordered. For what purpose does Representative Thomas rise?
Make a motion.
State your motion.
Motion, Senate Bill 395 be recommitted to rules.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption of Senate Bill 395?
Senate Bill 395 by Senator Kirkpatrick, and the 32nd to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 2A, Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated relating to the Department of Public Health.
On the gentleman's motion that Senate Bill 395 be withdrawn from the calendar and recommitted to the Rules Committee, is there objection? Hearing none, is so ordered. Representative Berry, there he is. Would you like to be recognized for a motion? For what purpose Representative Berry rise?
To make a motion,
State your motion.
I move that House Resolution 1793 be moved from the Committee on Special Rules to the Committee on Economic Development and Tourism, and both chairmen are in agreement.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption?
House Resolution 1793, urging the Department of Natural Resources to establish regulations for placement of lifeguards on Georgia's public beaches.
On the gentleman's motion that House Resolution 1793 be withdrawn from the Special Rules Committee and recommitted to the Economic Development and Tourism Committee, is there objection? Hearing none, is so ordered. Members, if you will give the gentleman that will be in the well in just a moment your attention, not just him, but several of our members that we know that will not be returning. For me, I'll tell you personally, and for this body, it's a bittersweet moment to hear from these members that have done such great work here over the years. With that, I'm going to recognize my friend from Tennille, Georgia, down in Washington County, Chairman Matt Jackson, for some remarks. Chairman Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to recognize my family here with me, my wife, my sons, and some family in the gallery. I want to recognize them too for being here with us today. Today I rise, colleagues, to say goodbye to the Georgia House of Representatives. A wise man once said, "To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Another wise man also said, "You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run." And that time has come for me. But as I leave these hallowed halls, knowing that it was only by God's grace that I was elected to serve as one of 180 distinguished legislators in this great state of Georgia. As we celebrated with Representative Carl Gilliard, the 33 black legislators that we elected during Reconstruction to this very same Capitol, it made me realize that this was a sacred honor to carry the title of Georgia State Representative. The original 33 African American legislators paved the way for me and other people of color to sit in this very chamber. So as I leave here, I leave with hope. Hope that the relationships that were made over these 18 years were built on a solid foundation that will stand the test of time. I met so many wonderful people in this chamber. Represented Al Williams, and I traveled across the state of Georgia. And there's so many things to say about Representative Al Williams, but I don't have the time to tell it all. But I learned all of his sayings, Leader Hughley. When elephants fight, the grass suffers. Only eat shrimp, crabs, and oysters during the month with an R in them. When you put your hand in the lion's mouth, pull it out slowly. It's as useless as blank on a bullhog. We stayed in an Airbnb on one of our trips in North Georgia. And Whip Burchett, remember this one. But we didn't see any black people up there. And when we attended the meetings on water rights, one of the young men invited us to come back that Sunday and attend church with them. But of course, we didn't go. But he always told us about eating pig feet in Portugal. So one night we went to a restaurant and they had stuffed pig feet on the menu. And guess you know, he ordered it. And that same night he had to go home and cook something because it was the most awful meal that he had ever had. But I can't tell you all the Al Williams stories. But I can tell you thank you to Chairman Alan Powell. We had some late nights when he was chairman of public safety, and we debated gun bills sometimes through the night here. Thank you to Chairwoman Sharon Cooper. I'll always remember driving for her in one of those South Georgia towns during one of our rural council meetings. Thank you to Chairman Jesse Petrie for always coming through on Savannah Day, along with Representative Carl Gilliard. Chairman Butch Parrish, I'm looking forward to driving down to Swainsboro and eating at the Coleman House. Representative Billy Mitchell, let's keep showing up at the Convenience Store Expo in Macon. Thank you to all my sweet mates in 611, where Miss Kimberly Weidman greeted me on my first day in 2009. And she thought to herself, he's not going to make it. I'm the last one in my freshman class to still be here after 2009. Thank you to all my friends on my row of seats in the chamber. Representative Osteen left peanut brittle in my office on yesterday. Thank you to Appropriations Chair Matt Hatchett for all your help during my 18 years here. Thank you to all my friends who come up here every year to keep the doors open. Every one of the doorkeepers, I consider them my friend. Chairman Lee Hawkins, who will call me and ask, can I meet him for dinner? And when I get there, he's ordered giant lobsters that neither one of us can finish eating. Dean Green, who told me who to call to lease an apartment at the Landmark when I first got elected in 2009. And I can't forget the kindness of the late Speaker of the House, David Ralston, who believed in me and came to visit me on a Sunday morning at the church. And I was so overwhelmed, and I asked him, why, Mr. Speaker? And he said, because you are my friend. That's the kind of man he was, a great man that believed in me. And those words will forever echo in my mind of how Mr. Speaker considered me as his friend. How I remember one night I was under dilemma in Gwinnett County, and Leader Estration came to my rescue. I'll always remember your kindness, Mr. Leader. Thank you, Speaker John Burns, for making me co-chair, along with Dean Green of the Rural Development Council. The information that was shared during those meetings as we traveled across the state was incredible, and it helped me to get so many things done in the rural communities that I represent. Funds for rural broadband, funds for so many infrastructure projects in my district, the rural physician tax credit bill that I passed to incentivize physicians and dentists to practice in rural Georgia. The funding for the communities was incredible, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to have a leadership role on the Rural Development Council. Thank you to Leader Hughley, who helped me to get my first bill passed when I was a freshman in this chamber. She did it with so much kindness and with a smile, and showed me how to go across the Senate and advocate for my bill through the committee. Thank you, Chairman John Corbett, for being a friend. Thank you, Chairman Laura McDonald, for cooking Boston butts during Hurricane Helene, and Chairwoman Lisa Higgins calling me to bring a U-Haul truck to Vidalia, Georgia, to pick up food and supplies for victims of the hurricane. I'm forever grateful for your acts of kindness. Whip Sam Park, thank you for your calls. And my friend and sweet mate, Representative Marvin Lim, and my friend David Sampson for traveling to Sandersville to participate in our annual health fair. Thank you to my friend Floyd Griffith, Representative Floyd Griffith, for your kindness as being a neighbor in Baldwin County. Thank you to Representative Gabe Okoye for always letting me know that he's thinking about me. Representative Casey Carpenter for being a person of character and full of joy. I've never seen you upset, even when people were upset with you. Chairman Jesse Petrie, thank you for your kindness. Chairman Danny Mathis and my delegation members from Augusta. Chairman Mark Newton, Chairman Brian Prince, Representative Gary Richardson, Representative Carlton Howard, Representative L.C. Miles. I'll miss riding over to Augusta and having dinner with the delegation. To all my friends in this chamber, thank you for being who you are for these 18 years. But there's one special person besides my wife that I owe a debt of gratitude to, and that's Miss Kimberly Weidman, who is here with us today. Won't you stand? She's been with me since that first day in 2009, and she has kept us steady in 611 in the CLOB. She's got so much wisdom and understanding, and sometimes she even preached the gospel to me when I'm down. She knows the word of God. Thank you for all that you do in Suite 611 in the CLOB. There's a poem that we had to learn in elementary school called The Bridge Builder. And it goes like this. An old man going a lone highway came at the evening cold and gray to a chasm vast and deep and wide, through which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen stream had no fear for him. But he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you're wasting your strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again will pass this way. You crossed the chasm deep and wide while build this bridge at eventide. The builder lifted his old gray head. Good friend, on the path I have come, he said, there followed after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that has been as naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building this bridge for him. May the bridges that I've built over these 18 years help someone else along the way. May God bless you, and may the life I've lived speak for me. Mr. Speaker, I yield the well.
Daryl and Michael. Yeah. Would you guys come up? Mac's sons. Valerie, where'd you go? Right here. Oh, you're already here, girl. These are Mac and Valerie, excuse me, Chairman Jackson, I'm sorry, sons. And they're much better looking men than their daddy. What can I say? But we're glad to have them and y'all support for your dad, your mom, and Valerie. Thank you for standing beside Mac and sharing him with us all these years. I want to say one thing while you guys are here. I was thinking about Speaker Ralston and what Mac said. I bet you he's not going anywhere anytime soon, but I bet you anything you want to bet, Speaker Ralston's whispering into somebody's ear, old St. Peter or Jesus, some of those folks up there, and saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant, Mac Jackson." Members of the Jackson family will be in that South Annie room. If you would like to go say hello to them and thank them. And how many years have you put up with? 18 years? Wow. You're a woman of great strength. Thank you for your service to your member and taking care of him over these years. He's done a lot of things right, so I know he's had some good direction at home and in the office. So thank you. And thanks to all the family members that are here and the friends from down home. Thank y'all for being here. Members, we're going to give Chairman Jackson just a minute to get over to that South Annie room, and you can go over and get some photos with him. Members, I want to recognize someone while we're kind of at ease for just a moment, but a former member of this House, former majority leader of this House, dear friend Jerry Keene. Let's make Jerry and his family welcome today. Members, we're going to get started on the morning orders calendar, if you will. We have a number of folks that have waited patiently in our gallery this morning, so we want to recognize folks up there. If you could do it in a minute or something like that, that'd be awesome. We have a fair number of morning orders. We'll start with Chairman Gullett. He's right here, and then Representative Baker, you'll be next. Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my honor today to present this resolution, House Resolution 1193, to our friends from Reflections of Trinity, headquartered right in Powder Springs and serving families across Cobb County and far beyond. Under the leadership of Lori Wong Burns, this organization has made an incredible impact since its founding in 2003. In 2025 alone, they served over 100,000 individuals, including more than 24,000 children and 14,000 seniors, and distributed 2 million pounds of food to families in need the most. But what stands out to me isn't just the scale of their operation, it's the heart behind it. In a year that tested so many families, they showed up and showed out. They expanded their reach, met people where they are, and provided not just food, but dignity and hope. What started as a small act of kindness and service has touched hundreds of thousands of lives here in Georgia, and that's something truly special. Lori, you and your team, will you please stand for us? Thank you so much for your lifeline for so many, and on behalf of the Georgia House, it's truly an honor to recognize you today. So thank you so much. Just give them a round of applause.
Thank you, Chairman. Good to have y'all. Members, if you will join me in standing for Representative Baker. Give her your attention and respect here. Doorkeepers, if you maybe would close the doors. Ladies recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, today I rise to honor the life and memory of Nazir Shakur Lay, a young man whose life was taken far too soon at the age of 21 years. Nazir had the brightest smile and the most infectious laugh. He lit up any room he entered. Even when he was having a bad day, he wanted to make sure that you had a good one. His family was his world, especially his 6-year-old niece, who referred to her Uncle Naz as her best friend. Nazir was deeply loved by his family, and as they marked the anniversary of his first year passing, we recognize that the loss of a child, no matter their age, is a sorrow no parent should ever have to endure. Today, we pause as a body to recognize Nazir's life and to extend our heartfelt condolences to his family. If Mrs. Clark Bethune, Nazir's mother, would please stand. Would everyone join me in a moment of silence? While Nazir's life was far too short, the light he brought into this world remains. May his memory inspire us to lead with the same kindness he showed to others. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Thank you, Representative Baker. Mom, our condolences go out to you. Prayers. Sounds like a wonderful young man taken far too soon. So our prayers are with you and the family. Thank you for being here with us. Chairman Hilton and friends. Chairman Hilton and friends. So if you'll join. We'll allow that anytime.
Mr. Speaker, they've been waiting a while. They've been patient. You can tell they're excited. It's a great day to be a Georgian because today is World Down Syndrome Day, and we are, wow. Mr. Speaker, each year, March 21st, we celebrate the lives, contributions, and limitless potential of people with Down syndrome. Here in the United States, about 1 in every 700 are born with Down syndrome, each one offering unique gifts, talents, and perspective that strengthens our communities. We are especially grateful for the Down Syndrome Association of Atlanta, their executive director, Cheryl Arnaud, who works tirelessly to connect families with resources, education, and the support they need to thrive. To our guests, thank you for being here. Thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for making all of us proud, and thank you. We are honored to stand with you. Let's give them one more round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you come find me because today we have our socks on, the mixed match socks here, celebrating World Down Syndrome Day. So thank you, everyone, and God bless. Appreciate you.
I tell you what I heard, limitless potential. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for your patience. Good luck to y'all, and God bless you all. Thanks for being here. You have a great champion, a number of great champions here. Thank you. Representative Park Cannon is recognized for a morning order. Then Representative Kendrick would be after Representative Cannon. Representative Park Cannon and some friends. The ladies
Yep.
recognized.
Yep. Thank you. Went home. I should have to read this one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we rise to honor more perinatal providers in Georgia on today, Perinatal Provider Appreciation Day. We understand that perinatal responders increase the safety of families in the childbirth period. Perinatal responders are certified by CAPA, DONA, BADT, and other agencies. They primarily work in rural and underserved areas of Georgia and can assist families in birth that honor traditional and ancestral linkages. Today, we are honoring 28 birth workers with a reception in the Senate mezzanine until 2 p.m. All members are invited to come and to learn about the work of these individuals who do work in your districts across the state. And we're excited to announce that we have a resolution making May 8th as Birth Responders Day in Georgia. Congratulations. Yay. Thank you so much for being here. Come down and take a photo on the 3rd floor. Thank you.
Representative Kendrick and Representative Reese. Ladies recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You can come on down if you have an MBA, but we have some special guests in the gallery, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. They are from the Atlanta chapter of the National Black MBA Association. And for those of you that don't know, I earned my MBA from Kennesaw State my first year serving here. And so we have some friends that are coming up that are supporters. But the National Black MBA Association Atlanta chapter is a nonprofit organization committed to advancing leadership, economic mobility, and educational opportunity across Greater Atlanta. Through strategic programs and partnerships, they create pathways that expand access to careers, strengthen communities, and empower the next generation of leaders. So if you could stand up so that we can acknowledge the Atlanta chapter of National Black MBA Association. Thank you so much for coming down. We appreciate you. And if you could come downstairs to third floor of the anteroom, then I think some people have some pictures they would like to take with you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Good to have y'all. We appreciate you being here. Your work is important. Representative Gilliard, Representative Gilliard, are you by yourself or you have some folks with you? You flying solo today? Oh, no, you were.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, today, and members of the great Georgia General Assembly, we have champions with us on today, gold medal champions. And they just have to be in a good age group. They are ladies, the ladies that are 50 to 64 years of age playing basketball. They are the Atlanta Lady Hawks. The champions are here. Would you please celebrate them with us on today? The champions are here. And Mr. Speaker, and they're going to be down in the anteroom if you want to take pictures. And Mr. Speaker, we have with us a magician on the day and a servant that is known all over the nation. He is a servant to not only Savannah but all over. He is the curator of the Magic Mark Show and Magination. And if you've ever seen a yellow python around his neck, I stay closely away from it. Magic Mark is here on today. Would you please give him a hand?
There's Magic Mark right there.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome.
I yield the well.
Boy, they all look fit too, Representative Gilliard. Good to have y'all. Congratulations. Basketball is awesome. Representative Lewis Ward and Representative Schofield, are y'all ready? It's your time. And friends. Who's in charge? There she is, Representative Lewis Ward. Ladies recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So today, our state celebrates single parents for their dedication, for their hard work, and their sacrifice. In 1984, former President Ronald Reagan, he established the National Single Parent Day to coincide with the founding of the Parents Without Partners. Today in our gallery, we acknowledge former House Representative Valencia Stovall and single parents from across the state of Georgia. Please stand so you can be recognized. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Representative Lisa Campbell. Ladies recognized. Is Representative Bell on the floor? Representative Dawson, you will be on deck. Oh, there you are. You're already on deck. Representative Campbell and friends.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Today with our Cobb delegation members who are welcome to stand and all KSU alumni, I would like to welcome and recognize Kennesaw State University's Student Government Association, who were with us today. I'm sure their dedication to their studies, they might have gone on back. As leaders in our community, I extend appreciation and encouragement to these active, engaged students who are contributing their time and energy to serve their fellow students. A special thank you to Elisa George, the current SGA president, former SGA senator, and one of our current interns, Tasia Good, and all of the SGA delegates, their sponsors, including Andrew Allison, our beloved KSU legislative liaison, and always KSU president, Dr. Kathy Schwag. Thank you, and I yield the will.
Members, we have a former member of this House, Representative Valencia Stovall, up in the galleries. It's good to see you again. Always good. We appreciate you and your service. Thank you. Representative Dawson. Gentleman's recognized. Chairman Martin, you're on deck.
Hey, good morning. If any South Fulton delegation members are here, you're more than welcome to join me here. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, I rise today to welcome the leadership and citizens of a city that's not just a part of my district, but a part of my heart, my home, the city of South Fulton. We had our mayor, some of them moved over to the Senate, council over here, and the leadership of the city. If anyone knows me, you know that I love South Fulton. I carry this city with me every day, and when I walk into the chamber, I know that we're South Fulton strong. Few things. South Fulton is the future of the Fulton County region. We currently boast the most undeveloped land in all of Fulton County, and paired with our strategic proximity to the world's busiest airport, that makes us a premier destination for global commerce. In the short 9-year span that we've achieved cityhood, our progress has been miraculous. We started with a modest budget of $47 million. Today, I'm proud to announce that our budget has grown tenfold, and we're reaching nearly $500 million, $500 million. We're the third largest municipality in the city of, or in the state of Georgia. So if you all would help me welcome my team, my city members with a house round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
Good to have y'all. We met earlier, so thanks for being here, and thanks for hanging out and being patient with us. Thank you, Representative Dawson. Chairman Martin. Representative Chuck Martin's recognized. Look at this one. All right. Gentleman's recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen, all these moments that we've recognized this morning are important. But we have the opportunity right now to recognize truly one of the rarest and longest lasting marriages in America. Married February 14th, 1945, Gene and Dovey Brentson celebrated their 81st anniversary. Yes. They were going to try to be with us today, but they weren't able to make it down here. Gene turned 99 yesterday. Dovey, he had a child bride. She's only 98 now. And they are celebrating and at home. But I want you to listen to their legacy, if you would. Family members that they have, evidenced by 6 wonderful children, 15 grandchildren, 20 great-grandchildren, 7 great-great-grandchildren, and 3 great-great-great-grandchildren, some of which have joined us and been patient with us this morning in the audience. If you would join me in rising and giving applause for the legacy of Gene and Dovey Brentson. If you're counting, that's 6 generations. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to invite you down, if you would, to the anteroom. We'll make some pictures, and I yield the well.
Members, we're going to move on to the rules calendar. I mean, y'all are aware we took a couple of bills, I think, off the rules calendar this morning and moved them back to committee. So we're going to hear, Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to Senate Bill 284?
Senate Bill 284 by Senator Walker, the 20th, and others, to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 5 of Title 10 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated the Georgia Uniform Securities Act of 2008, so as to authorize the issuance of orders by the Commissioner of Securities directing persons who have violated certain securities provisions to return to investors. This bill has been referred to the Committee on Governmental Affairs. That committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Representative Scott Hilton is recognized to present Senate Bill 284. Mr. Chairman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 84 has two parts. I'll start with the second part. This is the second part is House Bill 669, which passed out of the House Education Committee earlier in this session. It would allow school systems access to roofing improvements through a cooperative purchasing agency. Using this method for roofing improvements would also make these school projects eligible for capital outlay reimbursement funds in the case of low-wealth school systems. I do have to recognize Chairman Meeks, who is the author of House Bill 669 and is bringing that on behalf of his local community. The crux of the legislation, the first part, there is currently not a statutory means for the Securities Division to pursue a perpetrator of fraud outside the leveling of civil penalties. This would allow the agency to pursue those criminals and get dollar-for-dollar reimbursement back to the victims of fraud, think financial pyramid schemes and the like. So strengthening our Securities Division so that they can make right by those investors and get justice for victims of financial fraud. With that, Mr. Speaker, I will yield for questions.
Gentleman has no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
We do have one member who wants to speak in favor of your bill, so you have no question. Gentleman's yielded the well. Representative Darshawn Kendrick is recognized to speak in favor of the bill. The lady is recognized.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, members. I specifically wanted to ask for your support of this bill, specifically related to lines 35 through 41 of the bill. That's going to give the Secretary of State Securities Division the opportunity and the authority to redirect funds from unscrupulous issuing companies so that they can pay back investors and companies and customers and clients. You know, one of the things that I do outside of the legislature as a corporate attorney is doing arbitration for the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. So I get to arbitrate cases between investors and issuing companies. And it is so sad to see so many investors getting taken advantage of and not being able to be fully whole when it comes to investing their money. So I support this bill, particularly that provision, because it's going to help empower our Secretary of State to really get money, as much money as they can, back to these investors that otherwise would not have the means to do that. I'm actually pretty surprised that they don't have the authority already. So please support SB 284, and thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Ladies yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee's substitute? Hearing none, the committee's substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 284, the yeas are 155, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. I got you. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to Senate Bill 384?
Senate Bill 384 by Senator Hatchett of the 50th and others to be entitled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 9, and Title 12 and Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to motor vehicle emission inspection and maintenance in motor vehicles and traffic. This bill having referred to the Committee on Motor Vehicles, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by Rules Committee sub.
Representing Martin, Chairman Montahan is recognized to present Senate Bill 384. Members, he's going to make an announcement and give you some, so you'll understand exactly what we're considering here when he comes to the well. So I'm going to recognize the gentleman right now, and then we'll make sure everyone's on the right page.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are going to be withdrawing the House Rules sub and just traveling with the underlying bill, which is LC 394893S.
That's the original underlying bill, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Speaker, and that copy is in y'all's books. So, Mr. Speaker, members, I rise today to present Senate Bill 384. And what Senate Bill 384 does is creates a new 5-year tag and registration for your vehicles. So it's going to eliminate, especially for those counties where you don't have to pay emissions, it's going to eliminate that yearly drive out to the tag office to get that new registration. And so we're just going to cut down on some of this government red tape. If you live in an emissions county, you're still going to have to make sure that you're turning in those emissions timely. Of course, that's federal law. We don't have anything to do with emissions, but we do administer that on the state level. So just to be very clear, this bill here creates a 5-year decal. And so you won't have to go back and forth. You will again. You'll have to make sure you get your emissions per federal standards. But this, if you don't live in one of those areas, it would just create a 5-year decal for your vehicle. With that, Mr. Speaker, it's a pretty simple bill. I'll stand for just 1 or 2 questions.
Gentleman, yield to Representative Jasmine Clark to your left.
I will.
Ladies, recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
I do.
I love the idea of not having to go and get a tag every year because my birthday is in the day after Christmas, and it takes a long time, or I always forget. Anyway, my question is on the emission side. So if we're not having to, so we don't have to get a new tag, but we still have to get an emissions, what will be that process?
Well, it's kind of no different than what you're doing now. So you got to go get your emissions by, your birthday on the regular day that you normally go get your registration annually for those folks that are in an emissions county. Now, that's not every county. Actually, most counties are not emissions counties. But I know you may be headed up to Washington. If you do, maybe you can work on that issue for us and get us out of those emissions too.
Thank you.
Representative McQueen is recognized for a question to your left, right behind Representative Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
I do.
Can you talk to us about why alternative fuel vehicles are excluded? I mean, if they're cleaner, wouldn't it be easier to just include them?
Yeah, so I think it's the way that we assess fees on those vehicles. It's a little bit different. That policy was set years ago, and because there's so many moving parts, we really didn't want to. We didn't really want to make big changes to that. It's working pretty good right now. I think as we get into the next year, maybe we'll start contemplating those. And look, I'm all for reducing red tape, just like you, and I think that would be a good provision in the future.
Okay, thank you. And do you have just one more?
For my friend, sure.
Thank you. And then, so we're buying it in a 5-year block. So what happens if, I buy my car and then I sell it within a year? Have I just purchased 4 years worth of unusable?
In the committee, I think it was contemplated that you would just transfer that tag to your new vehicle.
You transfer it with your title?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. With that, Mr. Speaker, I'll yield the well. Thank you.
Gentlemen, he's yielded the well. He had several more questions, but he's yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to withdrawing the substitute offered by the Committee on Rules? Hearing none, it's withdrawn. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? For what purposes, Representative Roberts? Rise.
Is it on? Oh,
There it is.
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Isn't it true that I was going to ask the question, how do they enforce whether or not you've had your emissions when you have a 5-year tag now? So hopefully the author can answer my question offline.
I'm sure he will, because I'm in one of those non-attainment areas, so I'm not sure about the emissions, to be honest about that. So I think does the gentleman have an inquiry on that point? Did you hear her question, her inquiry?
Mr. Speaker, I didn't. If she could repeat the inquiry.
Another inquiry. The lady's recognized for inquiry. Wait.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry. Isn't it true I was going to ask the author, how does law enforcement or whomever enforce a violation of not getting your emissions checked if your tag says 5 years? I'm just curious how that's going to work.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll answer that inquiry just to say that if you don't register with your emissions, if you're in one of these non-attainment areas, then it would be canceled, just like it is today if you didn't go re-register. Is it not true, Mr. Speaker?
Sounds like a good answer to me. I'm going to take one more inquiry. For what purposes Representative Barnes, rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Is it not true that I too had a question to understand how you go get your emissions? When do you go get your emissions? Do you just wait a year, or do you just go get it willy-nilly?
The gentleman can correct me, but I think whenever your admissions next time that you go get an admissions check, that's when you would go do it. Is it annually?
Mr. Speaker, is it not true? I probably should just come back up there, but is it further not true that you have to do these on your birthday? So it's not going to change any of the emissions type standards in these non-attainment areas. You have to go back on or before your birthday. I think it's within 60 or 90 days of your birthday. You got to go get your emissions if you're in a non-attainment area. And then it gets uploaded to a portal. So if you go do your emissions, it goes online, it gets sent to the Department of Revenue, and then at that point, they inform the Department of Revenue whether or not you've got your emissions done. Is it not true, Mr. Speaker?
Sounded pretty true to me. Thank you for those answers. All members now voted. I'm glad I live in a place where there's plenty of pine trees and oak trees to keep the air clean. All members voted. This, so Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 384, the yeas are 151, the nays are 7. This bill having received a requisite constitutional majority is therefore passed. Members, we're getting close to that point you're all looking for, as well as myself. We're going to take up a further action here. I'll recognize Representative Osteen for a motion. The lady is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House agree to the Senate amendment to the House substitute to Senate Bill 170.
Mr. Clerk will read the caption.
Senate Bill 170 by Senator Jackson to the 41st and others to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 12 of Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to commissions and other agencies so as to create the Georgia Interagency Council for the Homeless.
Representative Osteen is recognized to explain the Senate amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I get started, I don't know if I can get through this or not. I want to thank this House and everybody that's in here for the kindness that you have shown me through the death of my daddy. It hit me today. It's okay. It hit me today that when I was going to ask for an agree to this bill, that this was my first bill last year. And I flashed my daddy up on that screen with all of us. He was in the hospital. And he was in the hospital during Hurricane Helene when that hospital was without power for 7 days. And that's why this bill was given to me, because my own hospital was without power almost 5 days. We didn't have enough generation to make our hospitals work. And y'all know that my daddy passed away last week, and we buried him last Wednesday. And I was just thinking when I was going to present this that what a way to honor him this week is to get, I'm sorry, I'm so upset, is to get this bill passed so that we can keep these hospitals when there's more things that are coming, more disasters that are coming. All these hospitals can have generators so that everybody in there can get the care that they need. Thank you, y'all, for standing. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for honoring my daddy. Thank you for making me feel loved. I'm not really sure, but I can explain these amendments, but I don't mind going through them. They're here on the paper if you need them.
If the lady will yield for 1 second, you know what her mother told her last week? That what her daddy would want her to do, and that was to come back to work. And so she did. It's been hard. You've been in our prayers, as you have and your entire family. So thank you for honoring your daddy's wishes. You came back to work, and you're a valued member of this body. We appreciate you. Now we'll recognize you to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you would, just look at the piece of paper. Let's get this bill passed, and let's get generators in hospitals that need it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
On the lady's motion that this House, agree to the Senate amendment to the House substitute to Senate Bill 170. All those in favor will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk will lock the machines. On the lady's motion that this House agree to the Senate amendment to the House substitute of Senate Bill 170, the yeas are 158, the nays are 0, and the House has agreed to that Senate amendment to the House substitute to SB 170. Thank you, members. Thank you, Representative Osteen. For what purpose does Chairman Hilton rise?
Motion.
State your motion.
I would like to move to recommit Senate Resolution 23 back to the Rules Calendar.
To the Rules Committee?
Rules Committee.
Yes, sir. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption?
Senate Resolution 23 by Senator Cowser to the 46th and others, the resolution applying to the United States Congress to call a convention under Article 5.
On the gentleman's motion that Senate Resolution 23 be withdrawn from the calendar and recommitted to the Rules Committee, is there objection? Hearing none, is so ordered. Thank you, members. We'll roll on to afternoon orders right now. Representative Stinson. Representative Patty Stinson. Representative Stinson. I want to ask the members if you'll join Representative Stinson and myself in standing. Lady will suspend just for a moment.
Yes.
And friends. Members, give the lady in the wheel your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I invite other members from down Southwest Georgia to join me. Southwest Georgia, you will be so kind to join me. Father, we stretch our hands to thee, no other help we know. If you withdraw yourself from us, we will have nowhere to go. It is with sincere sympathy the Davis Funeral Home of Ocilla, Georgia, paused to announce the passing and homegoing celebration in honor of Mr. Jonathan Tyrone Fuller of East Point, Georgia, formerly of Gladys, Georgia. And you see his picture on the screen. Mr. Tyrone Fuller was heavily involved in the funeral industry, originally from Ocilla, Georgia. Jonathan leaves to cherish his memories, his parents, Miss Joanne Fuller of Ocilla, and his father, Mr. Jimmy Lee and Judy Hall of Sylvester, Georgia. His homegoing celebration will be this Sunday, March 22nd at 3 p.m. in the Irvin County High School Gymnasium. He will lie in state at the Davis Funeral Home in Ocilla Saturday morning from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And Mr. Tyrone Fuller was very grateful to this body for passing the bill that will require funeral directors and embalmers to be maintain separate licenses. So we just want to pause for a moment and remember the life and legacy of our brother, Jonathan Fuller, who was very well loved across the state of Georgia in the funeral industry. May we bow for a moment of silence. In Jesus' name, we thank you. And thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, members of this body, for your love and support shown to the Davis and Fuller family this afternoon. May God bless you all.
Thank you. Condolences to the family. Thank you, members. Okay, we have 5 or 6 of you signed up for afternoon orders. We're going to give you a good solid minute, just a little longer if you need it. Representative Rahman, then Representative Ali, and then Representative Al. Representative Rahman. And friends. At least one. Ladies recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I rise to wish Muslim Georgians an Eid Mubarak. Today is Eid. It marks the end of Ramadan, so Muslims all around the state will be going to prayers like I did this morning, enjoying amazing food with their friends and their family, and hopefully getting a chance to spend some time with loved ones. I think it's really, really important to recognize today and holidays like this one because, as I've mentioned, there are so many holidays happening around this time of the year. But in particular, there are a lot of people attempting to pretend as if Muslims do not belong in Georgia. They absolutely do. We have been a part of the state's history since before its founding, particularly black Muslims. And so today I want to wish all of them an Eid Mubarak. And for those of you that have Muslim constituents, make sure to reach out. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
Ladies, yield the will. Thank you. Representative Ali. Representative Al, she's right there. Gentleman's recognized.
All right. Members on the screen, well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members on the screen are siblings Isabel and Noah, age 14 and 12. They are extremely close, learning piano together, learning about their favorite subject, science, together, and strengthening their bond. We can make their adoption possible at itsmyturnnow.dhs.georgia.gov, since they are foster children that are in need of a home. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
Representative Al, y'all pay attention to this one. Ladies, got some important information.
Very important information. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I won't need a full minute. Just want to remind people it's our second blood drive of the session today. The blood mobile is parked where it usually is, between CLOB and the Capitol. Remember that each unit of donated blood can save up to 3 patients, so it's a very meaningful thing that we all can do before we head home for the weekend. Remember to drink enough water before you go to the blood truck. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Pay attention to what lady told you. Go down and share your blood. Representative Reeves. Chairman Reeves is recognized.
Thank you, Speaker Burns. House colleagues, on Monday at lunch, the municipal court judges and clerks will be here. They will have a lunch on the second floor in room 216. Let's come appreciate our 500 cities judges and clerks on Monday and enjoy lunch with them. Thank you. I yield the well.
Representative Parrish. Parrish, there she is right there. And friends. Yes, ma'am. Glad to have friends, Edna. I'm always glad.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. All right, y'all, if you look at the board, you will see what time of year it is, right? So everyone that wore pink today, thank you. I was channeling you. Those of you that didn't get it, be a little bit more attentive, okay? The Cherry Blossom... The Cherry Blossom Festival is starting tonight with our gala. It is a 10-day event, and this year's festival promises something for everyone: live entertainment, delicious food, vendors, arts and crafts, family-friendly activities, and of course, the breathtaking beauty of thousands of cherry blossom trees in full bloom. Whether you're a longtime attendee or visiting for the first time, you'll experience the joy, color, and connection that makes this event so special. Like I said, it is from March the 20th, which is tonight, the gala, and through the 29th. Thank you. Good? Good? All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Cherry Blossom Festival. All good. Are they blooming good? Awesome. Representative Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is an exciting time in my family. We have birthdays from the 14th to the 21st. Of course, mine was yesterday. And today, I'd like to wish my sister Patricia a happy birthday. And tomorrow, my favorite youngest son will turn 25. So happy birthday, Joshua. And my intern, James Ruff, who's in my office, birthday is today. So if y'all come by 509, wish James a happy birthday. Thank you. I yield the will.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions?
Honoring the life and memory of Dorothy Kofer. Recognizing May 2026 as ALS Awareness Month. Recognizing and commending Ebony Ward. Honoring the Dar-e-Abbas Islamic Center. Recognizing and commending Liz Fernandez. Recognizing and commending Carrie's Code. Recognizing and commending Atlanta Gaslight on its 170th anniversary. And congratulating Jean and Dovey Brinson upon their 81st wedding anniversary. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? Hearing none, the resolutions are adopted. Members, we're going to move on to announcements. I'm going to make one to begin with before we hear from Chairman Gunther. A good friend of this House and of this Capitol Hill is our good friend Marty Smith, who heads up over at GBA. Marty's father passed away a couple of days ago, and his funeral is today. So I'll ask you to keep Marty, his family, in your prayers as they go deal with the loss of their father, his father. So Marty, we're thinking about you, and he's a good man, and we appreciate his friendship and the work he does. He's done great work on what we are enjoying here in this chamber and in this building. So thanks to Marty and his team, but condolences to he and his family. Chairman Gunther, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Judiciary will have a meeting upon adjournment here in the chamber for a photo. Please be here.
Or be square. You'll be out of the photo if you are here, right? Representative Berry. Representative Carter, you're on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The City of Atlanta will be meeting today upon adjournment in Capitol 230. We have a special presentation from Metro Atlanta Chamber about the World Cup. Lunch will be provided. Cap 230, City of Atlanta delegation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Carter is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you. Tomorrow is National Single Parent Day. I want to thank my former seatmate, former State Representative Stovall, for ensuring that Georgia celebrated it, and it just happened again to be my baby boy's birthday. So on tomorrow, we'll be hosting a breakfast and honoring some amazing single moms, single parents at the Rockdale Piedmont Hospital. So if anyone's in the Rockdale area and would like to join us for breakfast, let me know. Thank you. How you doing?
What time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. I'd be eating my second breakfast by 9 a.m. That's a great, thanks for doing that. That's a nice group to thank. That concludes our announcements. We do have a birthday. Representative Micaiah McQueen. Micaiah McQueen, where'd she go? Representative McQueen, happy birthday. Members, you see, if you have a page that served us well today, you see who they are and who you are, which is important sometimes, up on the board. And so we'll ask you to join us down front. We'll take some page photos. Members, thank you for your work this week, your attention, and your patience. I appreciate you all. With that, that concludes our work for the week. I recognize the majority leader of this House for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House stand adjourned until Monday, March 23rd, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. On the motion of the majority leader, that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. on Monday, March 23rd, 2026. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed will say no. It's very clear to me, wasn't it to you? The ayes have it. This House is adjourned.